everyone. Welcome to I Am Geek, and this is episode 194. And we're back here with you. I'm Ryan, joined by my brother Chris, and our good pal Katrin.
Woo!
We're live on
Hey-o.
YouTube right now. So if you're listening to this live, then hello.
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 If you're listening to this later, then hey.
You
a
get
little
a
less-
different greeting.
It's a little less formal later.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello, good gentlemen and ladies.
Ladies, listen to our show.
Only
Sure.
my wife when she wants to figure out if I've bought some new Star Wars stuff.
And my wife is not, because we don't talk about Friends.
Oh, we should do an episode on Friends.
A deep dive.
Deep
Down
dive.
Friends.
And don't tell her about it. And then afterwards be like, man, we just did this awesome episode about Friends.
But then she'd actually listen and critique it, because it's like, oh, you didn't think of this, you didn't say this.
And then you know what you say to her?
Hmm.
You say, I watched Friends in the 90s like most normal people our age. You have no room to talk.
Yeah, that should go over well.
Yeah. Was it the 90s? I don't even know when it was on.
It was the late 90s into the 2000s
Yeah.
in there.
But the reunion's happening next week?
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe
Is
so.
everything okay with Chandler Bing? I've heard in the news people are worried about him.
I supposedly he had some slurred speech when he said a line of something, but I don't know. Like, who knows?
People must say all kinds of stuff about us then.
I know.
I can't pronounce half the words I say.
I don't know where I am right now.
You are in a new space.
I am. I'm in a new spot. I can move around in
You're
here.
at the backstage of the high school, I think.
Yeah, I'm ready to go on stage for my one-person show.
Oh,
But I'm taking the time, and it's all about mops.
oh,
Yeah.
what's it called?
Mops to do about nothing.
Oh, it's Shakespeare.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a play on Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So before we get into what the main thing, just a little info. I got a 3D printer.
What?
Yeah, and that thing's addictive.
You fancy.
I'm 3D printing like everything. I asked my wife. My wife was like, "What can you print?" I'm like, "I don't know. Just say something.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. I could
$1
probably
million.
I could probably print $1 million. Now you couldn't spend it, but you know,
Yeah.
I've printed a couple things, Star Wars related, and from Galaxy's Edge, some stuff to go with my Galaxy's Edge stuff, and then I've got some other ideas in the works, but you know, it's been going good so far. No big mess ups really, which is cool. So that's good. But I like it. I like it. So
Yeah.
that's been my couple days playing with the 3D printer. But hey Vance, welcome to the show. He's in the comments. I don't know who else is in there, but there's some other people in there. But thanks for joining us live. All right. A little news, and then we'll get into the main dish.
Attraction.
Main attraction, that's better.
Main
Not the main
dish.
dish.
The main dish.
We're gonna dish on some Hollywood gossip.
I'm gonna spill all that tea.
Yeah.
Whatever you say. I don't know.
So for the third week in a row, Disney has released a new Legacy lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge.
Hey.
Hey, which I guess they're trying to play catch up or something from the pandemic. I guess they're like, okay, we gotta get these out there because I'm sure that the original plan wasn't to release like 3 lightsabers at the same time. You know, maybe it was. I don't know.
Mm.
It was weird though how they released the Leia one like May 4th. Well, actually, they released the double set on May 4th, Leia, Luke, and then like a couple days later they released the Leia one by itself, which everybody that bought the set that just wanted the Leia were sort of upset about. Then they released out of nowhere the Rey from Rise of Skywalker, her new lightsaber.
Yes.
Which looks pretty cool. I like that one better than the Leia one. That one looks, even though you can't turn it on by the little gear thing, but
Right.
whatever. And then this Monday they released the Darksaber. So
There you go.
Yeah.
what are they going to do next week? Who knows? But it's already sold out. The Darksaber's already sold out.
Yeah, of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like immediately. Most of the people that I've seen that have gotten it, the reviews have not been great about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They got all excited. Oh, this is a Darksaber. And then they got it and they're like, oh, it's a Darksaber. Like the blade is like really, really plasticky. Like it looks sort of like a toy. And
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
proportions are a little. Hasbro's coming out with one. It was supposed to come out in June, but I guess it's not coming out till October now. It looks a lot more accurate.
Yeah, that one looks nice. I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too.
That one's also all sold out now.
I pre-ordered it. Hopefully the wife's not listening. Through Target, so hopefully I get it, and it's not like, oh, we canceled your order, because they've done that before, which is stinky.
Very stinky.
Very
Stinky.
smelly.
So stinky. Those stinky doo-doo heads.
Anyways,
my.
but tonight we are going to talk about. I've been listening to this podcast called Astonishing Legends, which, if you like weird stuff, paranormal, weird history, stuff like that, that really goes into detail, like they spend, I mean, just like us, spend hours and hours and hours researching the material.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Check
Depends
them out.
Depends on how long we have before we come up with the idea and the show starts.
Yeah.
It could be hours.
So
it could be a week. It could be 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
A year.
A year.
Yeah.
Which we just figured out this week that we've been going for 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. 4 years.
I can't believe it. It doesn't seem like that. But,
man, time flies when you're
forced to do something.
Oh, come on.
Oh, what?
Forced to do something. I'll remember that.
It's been a weird year, though, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
this has kept me sane for the year.
Yeah.
The 4 years. I mean,
sure.
Kept
that's
me
what
sane.
you call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a level of sanity. I'll tell you that.
More sane than I would have been. Anyways, so Astonishing Legends podcast, and I just started listening to them a little while back, but I've started going into their back catalog, and I went back to like 2016, and they had this whole series on Oak Island, the mystery of Oak Island, like a 4-part series. I haven't even finished it yet because it's like they're like really long episodes. And I'm like, oh, Chris has talked about that, and I know there's a show called the Curse of Oak Island.
Yes, the Curse of Oak Island.
Which I've seen like a couple episodes, but I haven't like got into it like you have. But I'm like, we should talk about this because this is interesting stuff, and I would like to see what Chris's take is on it. And of course, we all want to know what Catron's take is on it because he's like a big oak head, as they call him.
We cut down an oak tree in our yard this winter.
See, big oak head. He thought there was treasure buried underneath it, so he cut it down.
I did cut it down.
What's their treasure?
No, just really messed up yard now.
Just experience. That was the treasure.
Yeah. If you dig like 5 feet to the left of it, that's where the treasure is.
Huh. Okay.
Just be careful of booby traps.
Booby traps. That's what I said.
So Chris is going to give us an in-depth background, starting from 1641, right? You're going to go all the way back?
Oh, I mean, there's stuff that's been found on the island in the 1200 AD.
Yeah,
so
but the first
medieval times.
So we'll give sort of a background, and then we'll talk about theories and all that stuff.
So if you do watch the show, there's an island off the coast of Nova Scotia.
Ooh, he's got the voice. Oh, keep going.
Every episode starts like that. That's great. Like every episode, there's an island off the coast of Nova Scotia, and it goes in this whole big ordeal. But it's fun.
And Nova Scotia is like...
It's up in Canada.
Yeah, like not too far from United States, Canada.
Yeah, like Michigan is right up there. Because the guys that
geography.
Geography. We just throw a dart and
because the guys from the show are from Michigan.
They're from Michigan, yes. They're Michiganders.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to.
So, like, again, hello to all the new people in the comments on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Anyways. So 1641 is sort of, I guess, where the legend starts.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. Yeah, like it.
I've got it pulled up on my
phone. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, it's the legends. Well, it's the original legend. Yeah, was like treasure.
Yeah,
is supposedly buried on this island. It didn't say what island per se, and like or whatever. They just kind of like figured that this is probably like this kind of.
1650, an old man dying says he was a crew member of Captain William Kidd, had assisted in burying an enormous treasure on a secluded island east of Boston. So, this legend is widely spread with searches conducted over 100 years.
So, a feast you can just wrap around. So,
so there's no map. There's nothing written down. There's just some old man dying and he says, "Oh, by the way, I helped bury an enormous treasure."
Yeah, and his family by his bedside, like any other, clues, anything.
It's on an island.
An island, okay, we get that. Like a specific. Can you point to a map? We have like several maps, but no, he didn't do that.
So this is where the legend starts, but it doesn't. Nothing really happens until like. I'm trying to think when.
The first searchers, if this is who you were talking about, happened around 1795 to 1799, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So most of the history about this stuff is all like told down through the generations, like especially the early stuff. Nothing was really written down. It's just like from searcher to searcher, they kind of passed along the info of what they know. Like even the original searchers, there were supposedly 3 of them, which was Daniel McGee, Anthony Vaughn. Supposedly those 3, like the original people were saying, oh, they were teenagers, they were fishing around the island, and like they went on and they found this indention in the land, and they thought it might be treasure, so they started digging. But then later on, it's like no, they were adults, like they were landowners on the island. And they found this depression that thought it could be something buried there, and they thought it fit within that Captain Kidd kind of mythos.
Yeah. So the 18-year-old buys the plot of land, builds a house on it, and tries to find it.
Yeah, I mean the island itself was used for like farming. And stuff like that for the most part. And I don't know if they necessarily bought there because of the treasure, or if it was just that was what the island.
Oh, it says that from the podcast, and then thinking back that basically after the discovery of the pit area, John Smith buys lot 18, the side of the pit, and builds a house. And he lives on the island until his death in 1857. So then he buys, between then and his death, he bought lots 15, 16, 17, 19, and 20. So he bought a lot of lots.
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy that it's 2021, which we'll get to the show, but there's still people trying to find this supposedly treasure that this old dude on his deathbed said that was somewhere out there, but didn't say where it was. But they're still focused on Oak Island.
Yes, and I mean, and that's not the only like mythos with it. I mean, Captain Kidd's one of them. There's all kinds of other ones that people pointed to that what it could be, really. So like, so many people were searching for so many different things in one place.
Yeah, I've even heard like bizarre things that aliens did all this and
Well,
stuff.
of course. There's always an alien theory.
Why would aliens bury oak trees on it? Because that's the thing. They started digging in this hole and they found all these like oak trees that are like sideways.
Yeah,
like
it basically planks, levels.
Yeah.
So yeah, when they started digging, at 2 feet down, they found like a layer of flagstone, and then at each 10 feet down, they found these planks of wood, about every 10 feet, until they hit the about 90-foot mark, and that's where they found a stone that was on this plank that was kind of like sealed
weird
on it.
writing.
With weird, kind of runes. They didn't know what it was. So when they removed that, suddenly the pit started filling with water.
Never remove a stone with runes on it.
No. And like supposedly, like that's another thing that's been lost to history, this 90-foot stone. That it was there are no etchings, there's nothing. There's just like the runes or whatever were written down basically out of memory at one point. And it was said to they finally thought they think they translated it into 40 feet below 2 million pounds are buried, which 2 million was like what the Captain Kidd story was, so kind of go with that a little bit. But like you're not quite sure, like, because the stone was lost. It was taken into town, like in Halifax, at one point, and put in a merchant's window to display, so he could like basically get funding from people, in order to keep digging. And then from then they don't know. Like they've gone into the show about trying to find this stone. They've like dug in people's basements where they thought it might be. They found like a couple of them that they thought it could be, like, because they think it might have been at one point just taken and used as like a workman's like boulder kind of rock or whatever that people started like using to like chisel stuff on and things like that. And so they found evidence of possibly rocks that have been like that, but it's never been found.
And there's like all these companies that have like formed throughout the years since the 1800s trying to dig. They each say, well, we can go in there and do it fast, and then something happens and they give up like a few months, and then somebody else comes in, and then somebody else comes in. And even like FDR was a part of one of these groups.
President Roosevelt, he followed it for years. He never actually got out to the island, but he helped kind of fund it and followed it for years.
Earl Flynn, which the actor that played Robin Hood, and
Errol Flynn. Yeah,
Errol Flynn. That's what I said.
I know, that's what you said. I was just repeating it because I love to say the name.
Yeah. Anyways, he wanted to be a part of it, and they basically told him no.
We want Errol. Errol Flynn. We don't want.
We thought it was Earl Flynn.
Leave me alone. John Wayne donated a bunch of equipment to one excavation. I mean, so the famous people are getting in on this.
Yeah.
Putting their money in. A lot of money. Here's what I don't understand. All these people are putting so much money into this. They don't even know what the treasure is. The treasure could be the secrets of your heart. I mean, it could be nothing. And they're like pouring millions and millions. Why don't you just keep the millions and millions? And then guess what? You'll be rich.
It's adventure.
I guess.
I mean, some of these people they got money to spare, and they want to do it, and they can get fame and fortune out of it, or depending on what it is down there, it could be priceless.
So far, nobody has got fame or fortune from it.
Well, I mean, if you count the show, it's a very popular show.
The show, yeah.
So I mean, I would say they got some fame.
Before there was a TV show, all these people from from the 1800s all the way for now, they either ended up with less money than they started, or dead. Because
there's a curse, found
right?
There's a curse. So no one.
There's a curse.
There's a curse. I I've never really heard a definitive like where this curse
I
necessarily
don't
came
think
from.
anybody
And
has. That's
like
the
no, like, so basically, if you don't know the curse is said to have originated like maybe about a century ago. No one knows, but it states that 7 men will die in the search of treasure before it is found, and to date, 6 men have died in the efforts to find the treasure.
Jeez.
So
Yeah.
one more person.
We could talk about those as you think History Channel will be like, listen, we gotta find this treasure. Who do we got that we don't really need on the show? And let's just take them out and just dump them in that pit.
Who can we throw in the pit?
Yeah, we throw in the pit. But
But
it's like, yeah, go ahead.
but like, but the pit itself, they don't even know where it is anymore.
That's true. The money pit, as they
The
call it.
money pit, the original money pit. There's been so many people, like so many companies that have come in here and dug up stuff. One person like basically dug up like the whole like acreage, like around the thing, did and basically the water, the seawater, keeps flowing in from these like underground tunnels that they keep trying to cap off. That he just filled everything back in, and so like they don't know where the actual original money pit is. They're still trying to find it. They think they're getting close on the show now, but like yeah, it's lost.
It's so weird. It's like weird but fascinating at the same time that people have done this. I mean, there have been 6 deaths. What probably the saddest death? We won't go through all of them. Probably the saddest death is a family moved to the island to help.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to remember their names. I wrote it down somewhere. If you know it, let me know.
The Ristal family.
Yes, he moved his whole family to this and to live like in a shack, a couple of shacks on the island to help find them the treasure. And they were digging in a pit, and there was some gas that came from the earth. Basically, it was
Yeah.
gas from like rotted wood that
Mm-hmm.
causes you to go unconscious
Hmm.
if you inhale it. And he inhaled it, and he fell into the pit. Well, the pit was full of water, and so he drowned. His oldest son went in to rescue him. He immediately went unconscious, and he drowned. And
Mm-hmm.
then like somebody else went in.
Yeah, they lowered 2 other people down like on ropes to get them. They were able to retrieve maybe the son's body, I
Yeah.
think, one of them. But yeah, those 2 people ended up dying as well.
Yeah. So it's just like
Toxic fumes.
it's
Yeah.
like lemmings going into, following each other into this horrible
Mm-hmm.
death cavern. But so it's I don't know if the curse is real or not, but people are dying left and right. So there's 6 people that have died, but they keep going. People keep going, and that's what I don't understand about this.
Well, they're a lot more cautious now about things.
Yeah.
They have a lot more like technology to handle. Like they don't really so far on the show like the only people they've sent down into like the tunnels that they have like borehole X I think is the main one or something like that. Are divers like specially suited
Yeah.
divers like cave divers that goes all the time, and so they have their own oxygen tank, they have their own stuff, and they've rigged up this kind of elevator thing almost that lowers them down to a certain point, and then they can go down into the water and look around. But yeah, they've yet to necessarily find anything. They've like in the actual tunnels that they have there's been like signs of stuff where they've sent cameras down, like gold objects looking type stuff. Um, the brothers that do it are, I mean, they have like a company that does like construction, all kinds of stuff like that. So they have access to all these drills that they bring out, and they drill down to certain depths where it's supposed to be, and they'll come up with these big long sleeves of just sections of the
Yeah.
dirt and everything, and there'll be like wood in there, and they've carbon dated it or whatever to around the time of the money pit, like before the searchers. So it's someone has been down there, and they put something down there, but they just don't know what it is. Like they have come up with like little snippets of parchment
Yeah.
And supposedly it wasn't the brothers, but in one of the digs they drilled down, there was apparently some shavings of gold on something.
Oh, they found treasure.
There's like leather that would have been on shoes that has been found in that deep, as well as pieces of bone of like
Human
human
remains.
remains, like bone, that aren't people from the searchers. They're actually like they date back to like the before the searcher, like so the actual people that dug it around that time, and it's people from like Europe, like no one in that area. It actually like they traced the lineage through the DNA to people from Europe, which is crazy.
That's crazy. I did watch part of I guess the last episode of this season, um, and well as some clips. I guess that they found this knob. They found a
Knob.
knob that they thought was gold, but then it turned out to not be gold. But
Well, it was gold plated, I think. Like, or it was like plated somehow.
they
Like,
said that it was probably brass, but it
yeah.
would have been used on an ornate box. So like, ooh, a treasure
Hmm.
chest.
Yeah. So,
That's where they immediately go. Oh, treasure!
so the interesting thing I find about this island is just like the history they keep digging up, because it's not just the money pit. Like, there's so many areas on this island that have so many like historical like context to them and everything. Like, there's a swamp that's on the island that for years it's like, oh, there's a swamp, whatever. But the way it's shaped and everything, they started to think, well, this swamp looks man-made.
Yeah,
Like someone built this. And so like that knob, I think, and several stuff have been found in the swamp. They found like wooden planks.
on a
They
road, didn't
did
they?
that. Yeah, recently they drained the swamp out and they started digging, and they found a road path like made out of stone. And I believe it was dated. I think I wrote that down
Long ago.
long ago. That was like 1200 AD, like because they were able to
Crazy.
determine that from what was in between the stones, because it would have had to been placed there.
Hmm.
It was like wood that wouldn't have been grown up or anything or
Yeah.
layered over.
Calendar.
Yeah, like a calendar someone had written down. Sorry, honey, I'm running late on the island.
1200.
Name, date, 1280.
Um, one of the theories is that it was actually two islands, maybe at one time, because the
Yes.
bedrock for each side of the swamp is completely different. So, which makes them think, okay, somebody built the swamp to make it one island.
Hmm. Yeah, and they've from where that road is, which apparently like they've been uncovering it, could lead directly to the money pit area. But like going the opposite direction, they've gone out into the ocean and they've uncovered like in the ocean like a ancient dock. It's like a huge dock, like over 7 feet wide or something like that. That
Atlantis.
that yes, Atlantis goes straight to Atlantis. But yeah, it would have been used for ships, for giant ships to move stuff on, to bring it
Yeah.
off and bring onto the island, and which would have been kind of concurred to digging operation, like bringing
Yeah.
stuff and burying it and digging stuff up and everything.
Hmm.
But they did this cool thing where they set explosives in the swamp and set
Of
them
course.
off. Yeah, and there you go. And it was like it's like a type of radar type thing where like the
Yeah.
explosions go out and they have sensors in there that read all the concussive blasts off of everything in there. And in the swamp, there's a giant like indentation of something. It looks like basically it looks like a ship. It
Yeah.
looks like a huge impression of a ship. And they've found like planks and everything that would go with ships, and they're all burnt. So they think that someone, after loading everything off and doing everything they did, they sailed the ship in between the islands and basically burned it down and built the swamp over top of it.
Hmm.
There's also like this eye, what they call the eye of the swamp, which is interesting. That like nothing grows over top. Like in the swamp, there's all kinds of like
Ooh.
vegetation and stuff like that. And in that eye of the swamp is an actual like ring of stones and clay that they've found down there. So like there's all this like evidence that like this huge operation took place on this island, and it all dates to before like the searchers. So like it would more than likely be the people who put this possible money pit there.
Ooh. There's also thoughts that the Knights Templars may have been involved in this somehow.
Yes, that's one of the more prevalent. I don't know.
Sure, we're using all the big words that we think of tonight.
One of the prevalent notions. That the Knights Templar had something to do with it because they've found various markings that the Knights Templar would use. One of the coolest things that they found on the island, which was in Smith's Cove, which Smith's Cove is where they think the box drains are, these tunnels that lead to the money pit, which siphons the seawater, the ocean water, into the money pit. Yeah. And people like they found what they think are the box drains when they dug up that area, and it has like coconut fiber in it, which would be used for box drains to help the water travel. And coconuts aren't native to anywhere near there. But so they've dug around there and they found what they call the Lead Cross, which they dated that, and it was like pre-15th century. And what they found was the lead wasn't from America. It's more likely around southern France during medieval times. They found some places where people would dig up lead around there, and the properties are similar to that. But yeah, it's shaped like a cross that the Knights Templar would use. And they actually went to France and went to this like castle where a lot of the Knights Templar were held, like imprisoned at the time. And there was a cross, like this is before they found the cross. There was a cross on the wall that looks almost like identical to the cross that they found, like on the island. So later when they found that cross, they're like, you know what this looks like? This looks like the castle in France when we went there. It looks just like it. And so it's pretty cool. It does look a lot like it. Continue.
Sorry. Yeah, it's interesting. I just have a hard time thinking that there's treasure buried on this.
I think something was buried there. What it was, I'm not sure. Because there's like, as each season moves along, like especially these last few seasons, they found so much evidence that people have been on this island digging up stuff, doing this huge excavations and all that. Something happened there.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's still there or not, that people are kind of like, I don't know, because there was one man, Samuel Ball.
Yes.
Who, in some of the stories, he was part of the original 3 who found the money pit. Some he's not. But he was a loyalist black settler to the island. He like fought for like Britain or whatever.
Yeah, fight for Great Britain, and he sort of got his freedom that way.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow got this island.
Yeah, he was a farmer, and then he had to move a couple times or something like that. And then he bought some lots on Oak Island. He was a cabbage farmer.
Oh, of course.
I think they based the cabbage guy from Avatar: The Last Airbender on this guy. But no, not really. And that was around 1794. But he became like the richest man in the province during the time. And like he farmed cabbage.
Well, and I mean, so there's money in cabbage. There's always money in the cabbage.
There's a lot of money in that cabbage.
The cabbage and cabbage.
So right, Adrian?
Yes, lots of money in the cabbage.
He's just taking it all in tonight.
Yes, soaking it in.
So people think he might have discovered it. So they know the area where his house was on, and so this past like couple seasons they've been excavating
his house.
His house. Like there's really nothing left of it except for like just some stones or whatever. But they've kind of digging into the basement. They have like actual archaeologists that have been brought in to do this kind of stuff, so it's taking a while. But they
Yeah.
found like all kinds of stuff around his place, like coins and buttons and all this stuff that's like, yeah, this has been lived in, and it's evident that he was there. So they're
Sorry.
uncovering his history.
Sorry. So they have this foundation. I've seen clips of that part. They have a foundation, and they find the coins and the buttons. Like, oh yeah, somebody was living here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the foundation of the house would have gave that away.
Yeah. It's just cool.
No, they get excited. No, it's funny how they get. I mean, it's cool that they get excited about it, but they'll find like the littlest thing, and they'll be like, "We've struck gold. This is it." And you're like, "It's a button," you know.
But
button
like
off
it's
of a shirt.
It's just like it depends on how the button dates in time is what gets exciting. Like they find buttons that are like, yeah, people shouldn't have been on this island at the time, and they're finding stuff that like is indicating like, oh, people were here. So yeah, one of my favorite people on the show that usually finds this stuff. His name is Gary Drayton, and he is English or Irish or something like that.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He's from Great Britain. He's a metal detection expert.
Yeah.
And he's been on some other like history and discovery stuff before, but then like he really like picked up once he got on the show because he's found like millions of dollars of stuff like combing beaches and all kinds of stuff. But he has what I guess they call Garyisms when when he finds things or whatever. Yeah, like our dad, Garyisms. Because like when he finds something, it'll be like, "Oh, that's a Bobby Dazzler." It's something shiny or whatever. It's a Bobby Dazzler, and then he'll say, "Well, that's a top pocket find," and then he puts it in his top pocket.
Pocket.
Other stuff we put in like Ziploc bags, put it whatever. It's like, oh, that's a top pocket.
It's a safe spot. Yeah. I saw a clip and some other dude was making fun of him. They found a piece of wood and he puts it in the top of his. The other dude like puts it in his jacket. He's like, that's a top pocket find right there.
Yeah. And of course he says, "Holy shamoly!"
Of course.
So he's a walking catchphrase library. It's great.
That's why they have him on the show.
Yeah.
They just throw stuff out there so he'll find it. So he'll say stuff like that. Mm-hmm. With it being a TV show now, do you think, okay, we got to keep the ratings up. Let's put some stuff out there.
I don't think so. Like the guys that are like in charge of the digging, which is Rick and Marty Lagina. Like they're like, you can tell they're invested in this place. Like,
well, yeah, not that they're not invested, but it's like the History Channel. Like, listen, guys, we gotta.
I don't think they would agree to that. I don't think they would do it because they're stand-up Michigan guys.
That's why they bring in the top pocket guy. The top pocket guy is the guy that finds the fake stuff.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a bobby pin from 1492. From Columbus himself.
Written right here, Columbus. He wrote it in marker.
It's a Bobby Dazzler.
No, I don't think so. Like, they're so genuine. Like, they're not actors. They're not like. I don't think they could really pull it off. But like, oh, look what I found.
Takes it out of his pocket, picks it up off the ground.
Amazing. Rubbing some dirt on it. Look, I just dug it up.
Get it to the lab.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. But.
So, what do you think is actually going on this island?
I think something was buried there. To me, it seems like it could be the Knights Templar. Could have buried something there. Whether it's still there or not, I don't know. But it's pretty evident that things happen there on the island, and I mean, it'd be cool if they found something. I'm sure they'd be like, "Oh, it'd be great, found something or whatever." But they seem just excited that they're uncovering this history.
Yeah.
that was never like written down, that was never explored, and they're basically rewriting history to this island in the area. So I would definitely recommend the show. Anybody to try it out, especially like these past few seasons. Like I think you can find it on the History Channel, like on their app and stuff. And like the last season just ended 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and they can only, I mean, they can only dig and stuff during the summer basically because like winter up there it just like covers the whole place and snow and ice, so they
Yeah.
can't really dig then. So
Because of the curse.
because of the curse. Otherwise, there would be no snow
No.
up there.
No
Curse.
snow at all.
It's a curse. But so I mean, so these last few seasons they've been really uncovering a bunch of cool stuff because they're really exploring the whole island as a whole
Yeah.
rather than just focusing on just the money pit.
Yeah. And I guess there's a new season coming because the way they ended this season
Oh
was
yeah,
like, well, I think we've, definitely found something. Tune in next season.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, they're definitely coming back. It's one of the more higher watched shows on History Channel, I think.
Yeah. So I guess that would be happening right now, right? Because it's starting to be warm.
Yeah, they would be up there.
We should
now
go up
it's
there.
finished. Let's go. We can help dig.
Yeah. Just give me a trowel.
Katrin,
Bucket.
you're ready to go, right?
I'm ready to go. I'm going to Maine soon. So
Oh.
Oh,
but
there
it's
you go.
Just
not
keep
there.
going.
So
Hop, skip, and a jump.
Just say I've got information that no one's heard of before. I'll only tell it to you if you put it on the show.
They put those people on there.
And then make sure you wear the I Am Geek t-shirt.
yeah.
I mean, from listening to the podcast and watching some of the show and clips of the show and doing some research online about it, I feel like it's history. That there's, sort of like, I don't think there's treasure there. I think this is just history. Just like 100 years from now, people excavating, I don't know why they would, my backyard, they're going to find random stuff that my kids have thrown out or I've dropped or
People.
my dog has pooped out, well, shh.
This guy really likes Star Wars a lot.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, what's he doing?
Yeah. So I think I think they're discovering history and that's the treasure of it. I don't think there's a, Captain Kidd's secret buried treasure. I mean, I could be wrong, but
It could be the lost writings of William Shakespeare.
it could be.
That's one of the theories.
Yeah, that's one of the theories, which is ridiculous. If there was treasure, I think it's gone.
Or hey, it could be the Ark of the Covenant.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Or the Holy Grail. Well, that's
Why would that be there?
The Knights Templar.
They're gonna go to Nova Scotia to bury that in a pit.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Wow.
I mean, they were their government was after them. They had to.
Some of these
go
pits
where they
they've
could be
dug.
reached.
Some of these pits they've dug. The divers have gone down and said, "Yeah, this isn't man-made. Like this is natural."
In some of the areas, but like at the same time, like the pits that they've gone down isn't necessarily, that's not the actual money pit. So it'll be interesting. Cat feeder.
Time to feed the cats.
You're getting away from that.
I think it's very interesting to look at history of a location that we don't know about, but I don't think it's secret treasure from long ago that no one's discovered. I think they're finding interesting things. I think they're finding out more about where people traveled, where people went long ago.
I don't know. I think at some point something was down there. Whether it's down there or not, I'm not sure, because like the stuff that they found in the swamp, they found like coins dating back to like 1692
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. That they found like barrels that would be used for hauling like stuff like that around, like pieces of it.
Yeah.
And so like something I think was taken there and buried. Who necessarily buried it, I don't know. And
Yeah.
if it's still there, I'm not sure.
If it hadn't have started with an old man on his deathbed going, "Oh yeah, I hung out with Captain Kidd, and we buried this treasure on this unknown island somewhere out there." If it wasn't that, then I'd be like, okay, maybe there's treasure. Like if they found this book, or they found this map, or they found more than just some old man on his deathbed. Yes, but we're basing all of this on an old man that died in 1650 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't add up to me.
Well, if that is the true thing, if it was the Captain Kidd, then that would be it. But there's also like all these other theories, which we won't go into, that they found.
Okay. Go ahead.
they found like maps of the island that people have drawn, and various writings that, like from the French or the Spanish, that like could like interpreted a certain way could lead you to believe that someone came there to Oak Island to bury something. So
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just saying there's all kinds of other.
There was one of these people that were looking at the island and they're trying to find Captain Kidd's treasure. They found this. There was this book that this guy had written, and there was a map in the book of a Captain Kidd's map, one of Captain Kidd's maps. And they're like, well, this matches up with Oak Island. It matches up with, because there's supposedly stones on Oak Island that have these holes in them. And
yeah, there's what they call Nolan's Cross, which are these stones that were like placed by man that seems like in the shape of a cross that could help lead you to where the money pit was.
Yeah. But so there's this map in this book that looked like Oak Island. He took it out there. The map matched up with the stones. He went over to England or wherever the writer of the book was from, because he wanted to get this information. So he goes over there. This is from the podcast I listened to. He goes over there and says, listen, can I see this map that's in the book? Do you have the map? And the guy was like, well, actually, I saw the map, but I didn't have the map when I made the book. So it was sort of from memory. So I sort of just made the map up in the book and put it in the book. But I know the guy that has the map, and you could go, here's his name, and you could go see him, and he can show you the map if he still has it. So then the guy goes to this other guy and says, I was told by the writer of this book that you have the map that he saw, that he made then he put from memory into his book. Can I see it? And he said, oh, yeah. He goes, I'll even let you have it for $25,000. And he's like, well, let me see the map first. So he sees the map, and the map looks nothing like the map in the book. It doesn't match up with Oak Island at all. It doesn't look like Oak Island at all. So he's like, yeah, I'm not going to give you $25,000 for this map that looks like nothing. So he goes back to the other guy, and the other guy's like, well, maybe Captain Kidd came to me in a dream or something. And he's just like, no, this is not real. This is not, you made it up. It's not real. And so there's all that in there too, where there's pouring millions and millions of dollars in this for these things that these people have supposed maps and all this stuff that turned out to, the dude made it up. So I don't know. It's weird. It's the treasure we discussed before, The Secret, that one made more sense to me, because this is a guy that wrote a book and he said, I actually put these here and people have found stuff.
Yeah.
This one is like, I think it's history. I think all this crazy stuff has happened on this island.
Yeah. Well, the one you talked about before, that was definitely meant for people to find something that long ago. This seems to be something that was put there like that people weren't supposed to find.
Do you think it's like a hoax? Do you think somebody's like, let's dig this big pit and let's do all this stuff? Because, people are bored. Even back then, people were bored. They're on an island. They're stuck on this island because of military, whatever. And they're like, let's dig a pit and let's just fill it in with all the stuff that we have.
I don't think so. Like just based on like everything that they found, that this was like a huge undergoing that someone did on this island to just like do a hoax. I just don't like.
People are bored. You know, they don't have TV.
They didn't have anything to do back then.
Nothing to do.
I mean, what if it's more like the telephone game, though, right? It's like it started off as one thing, just like that book, the map, right? It's like he took it from memory, and it's like that's the whole point of that game. Is like, what does it come out to at the end? And it's like maybe it started off as this little thing, but then all these people have tried to find it, and all these other weird things have happened, and it's added to the story of it.
That's part of it. Like nothing was ever written down about this. Nothing was ever was a history game of telephone of this thing, and I don't know, I just look at like everything that they found, and it seems like something happened there and something was buried there, but who knows why and if it's still there.
Fair enough.
Maybe the guy that was dying on his deathbed, maybe the island that he was talking about was like 50 miles down the shore. And they're like, man, we were just off about 50 miles.
A lot of islands.
Yeah. It is weird that this place, they call it Oak Island, which we should have started this at the beginning. They call it Oak Island because there's these oak trees that are on it that are not native to this area. It's the only place in this whole area where these oak trees are on, and that's why it's called Oak Island. Yeah. If they didn't have the oak trees on it, they would just be called
Island.
Yeah.
Weird island. Fantasy island.
It is going to be interesting. Now, I don't wish this on anybody. It is going to be interesting that if a seventh person dies on the island, which if you think about it, they found all these bones. More than 7 people have died on this island. You know? So technically, that curse is already busted.
And the curse doesn't necessarily say like how the person is supposed to die on the island. So I mean, there have been several, probably hundreds of people that have died naturally.
Those that fall down the hole. Counts. I don't know. I think because of the way that you'll have to, if you're listening, you'll have to go back and look at all the ways that people have excavated the island. I think that if there is something, it's going to be near impossible to find it, because most of these people throughout history that have went on this island, their main source of finding stuff was just, got a case of dynamite? Okay, here, let's just throw some dynamite and blow stuff up. Now, not the people today on the show, but this was like there was people in there, they're like, oh, I can get this down in like a month. And they're like, okay. And then they come in with all this dynamite and just blow this up. And they like found stuff, like one of the big rocks that they found that had something important on it. They're like, must be something underneath it. Crack it open and let's start digging. And then that rock's gone. And it's just like, I think for people to find it now, unless, I don't know.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out for them because of the people that came before. Fortunately, most of the people that came before did concentrate on the money pit itself. Yeah. And left the majority of the other
tunnels,
alone.
The
flood tunnels. But the two guys that own it now, Rick and Marty, like basically they came to own the island because of a Reader's Digest article that they read when they were kids about the island, and Rick, the older brother, it just really stuck in his head, and so when lots became available, like they went up and purchased it. Like Marty, he's kind of like the skeptic. He's the Scully, or the Mult. Yeah, he's the Scully. Yeah, he's the Mulder. Yeah. So if you watch the show, he'll say I didn't believe any of this at the time. It just seemed like it was something fun to do. My brother was really into it, and he was very passionate about it. So we were doing this. I didn't think anything of it, and then the more they find, he's like, something happened here. I really believe something happened here that was mysterious and interesting. And so he's really become emotionally invested in it as well. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a trash heap.
Could be.
It's an ancient trash heap. We're we need to put all this stuff somewhere. There's this island over there that nobody lives on. Hey, that sounds good.
We don't need the ship anymore. We need to burn it somewhere.
Yeah.
The island.
Yes.
Take it over the island. Burn it over there.
Stranger things have happened. I'm just waiting for, I'm waiting for it to settle down, and then History Channel is like, we got to do something. We found Bigfoot prints. They're on the island, and then this is going to turn into another Bigfoot show because there's like tons of those now. So why not?
Oh yeah, yeah, sure.
That's the show I've been watching. This new Bigfoot show.
Sasquatch.
No,
I don't know what it's
called. I'm getting off subject.
Harry and the Hendersons?
Yeah, that's it. It's based on a true story.
Yeah, the Bigfoot show on Hulu is not really about Bigfoot. It just came on, so that's about weed farmers.
Why do they call it Bigfoot then?
Because a little tangent. So this like guy that like would go undercover and like expose like all these like horrible people, what he calls them monsters or whatever. He at one point, like maybe early 20s or whatever, he went to work on this wheat farm in this place in California where like it's basically like you go there, you're going to get killed type place. Because of all the weed growers up there. And he was in this cabin with the guy that owned the place, and then suddenly these two people ran in, and one guy's like, they killed him! They killed him! It was Bigfoot! He came in and just ripped him apart! They're everywhere! They're scattered everywhere! And so he remembers this story from when he was like in his 20s, and so he's going back up there to figure out like what really happened. Like, was there like a Bigfoot that came in and did this? Yeah, it's basically it's
Expedition Bigfoot is the one that I've been watching.
Oh,
it's really good.
About that.
Yeah, I like it. If you like those expedition shows, you'd like that one. It's got a lady on it. This is this rabbit trail. A lady on it that like went with sort of like Jane Goodall. That's basically been her job. She's been in like gorillas and apes and stuff. But she's on the show and she like scolds everybody on the show. You can't just go running into the forest. It's like there's a Bigfoot in there. You can't do that. And so she's just like the mom. She yells at them. It's funny. Anyways, so back to what we were talking about. So yeah, I think Katrin has a lot to say on it, so this is the time that we reserved for him to give his
perfect. I get to talk now.
His thoughts.
I haven't gotten to talk, so what I was thinking is I should probably watch the show sometime,
or just listen to the 4-part podcast on your drive.
Yeah,
I'll sum it all up.
My 5-minute drive to work.
You go every day, 5 minutes a day, or 10 minutes a day, because back and forth.
I've got a drive tomorrow. We've got to go to Arkansas and from Memphis. And if you've not heard, our main bridge to get across the Mississippi River is closed for months. It's going to be closed for months because they're repairing what they said was a crack. Now they're like, no, it's broken. It's sheared. So we could be sitting for an extra hour on the way to Arkansas, so I could listen in.
If you go past the bridge and you see this big creature that looks like a moth, just turn around, go the other way.
That was my thoughts exactly when I saw that. I was like, it's the Mothman.
Yep, Mothman fact. That's another show we could do. They have a good series on Astonishing Legends about the Mothman too. That it's really good. So yeah, so check them out, Katrin, and then you'll be caught up with where we are.
I'll have to do that.
It's very
in the know with the cool kids.
I mean, I'm not cool, so.
But yeah. Anyways, so that's our show.
Wake up, everybody.
There it is.
Every once in a while, we do one of these type of history shows, and
that's good
because we like this stuff.
Yeah,
because we geek out about everything. But don't worry, I'm sure I'll talk about lightsabers again soon. Anyways,
Disney and lightsabers. That's all you guys talk about.
Next week, now I may be coming back with my own Bigfoot
I hope you
story.
do. Oh,
well, I hope you'll be coming back. Yeah.
Next week, I'm going. My wife loves to hike.
Yeah.
So you just love to walk. So okay. So we're going. I'm just kidding. I like it too. It's fun. We're going hiking up in Tennessee, at the
Mount LeConte.
Mount LeConte, which is around the Gatlinburg area. Basically, you hike up this trail to the top of this mountain, Mount LeConte, and you stay up there in these, like, she called it the lodge, Mount LeConte Lodge. I'm like, oh, a lodge, that sounds nice. I looked it up. It's not a lodge. It's these little like
shelter,
rustic cabins,
It's 2 sticks
that have no power and stuff. Which I'm like, wow, that's false advertising. It's not a lodge, but it's camping. It's fun. So we'll hike up there, stay there a couple nights, and hike back down. So hopefully, I don't fall off the mountain or die.
Squatching.
No, yeah, but maybe I'll have a Bigfoot story to tell. Now, when I did look up this place, when she said, I want to do this, because you have to there's a lottery to be able to stay up there. Throw your name into the lottery, and then if they draw,
you win.
Sounds like a horror movie.
I know. Well, just wait. Just wait till the first. Okay, so if they draw your name, then you can stay up there, and people wait for years and years and years. So Jennifer had put her name in there, and her name popped up. I'm like, cool. So we're going up with her, and I thought it was just me and her, but then I found out, no, it's me and her and her sister and her husband.
I knew it.
Knew it?
That's awesome.
So you see, I may not come back.
That's right. You may go crazy.
No. Anyways, so when she told me Mount LeConte, I was like, well, I want to look it up. Figure out the place.
Good.
Because I'm the type of guy that likes to look at all the details. Like when she wants to go out of town, she goes, let's go out of town. And I'm like, well, what about our dog? And she's, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Somebody has to watch her dog. So I think about all this stuff.
What about our kids?
Yeah.
And your kids.
Yeah. So I think about all this stuff. So I'm looking at all the trails and stuff. So I was like, let me look it up. And the first article I see is like, Mount LeConte Lodge haunted. And I'm like,
yes.
Oh, here we go.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, this is right up my alley. So I looked it up to see what this story was. And it's the kind of story that I don't want it to be.
Children and dogs.
Children and dogs. Yeah.
3 a.m. in a specific cabin up there, which
it's going to be yours.
Maybe we'll get the cabin at 3 a.m. If you wake up, there will be a small girl standing at the foot of the bed, staring at you at 3 a.m. Yeah.
I can't wait for your daughter to come to your bedroom.
What? My what?
Your daughter to come to.
She won't be.
Oh, you're leaving her behind.
Our kids are staying with our parents.
Oh, okay. You got a plan. Okay, good.
Yeah. We have a plan. I have a plan. Yeah. So that's the first thing I read about this little girl that stands at the foot of your bed at 3 a.m. And I know how I am. My mind will be like, it's 3 a.m. Wake up. It's 3 a.m. Wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I don't like ghost children. That's just like
you need to take one of those those radio things that skip channels. That people are using now and supposedly ghosts can talk to them.
Yeah,
it's creepy.
One
of those.
One of those. That show that I told you to watch on Amazon. They use one of those a lot. The guys from the Stanley Hotel that go to Kentucky for the weird people that live in. I don't know what it is. It's weird. I forget the name of the show. Hellier. Yeah, Hellier. Hellier, Kentucky. That's where it's based in. Weird stuff. Anyway, so I may come back with some ghost stories or some Bigfoot tales.
I hope so.
Some weed farmers, hillbillies, or hillbilly golf. I don't know. I'm looking forward to going
some hillbilly golf.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Gatlinburg because I love it. Love that area. I told
China Bazaar is still open, I think, so you need to go to China Bazaar.
Yes, give me some blades. I remember getting mini blades there as a teenager.
Oh yes, throwing stars.
I have a brass knuckle thing that's shaped like the Batman symbol that has blades on the side. From there,
nice.
I got nunchucks.
Yes,
wooden nunchucks.
We had a rubber throwing star, like a practice throwing star. That's what we had.
I think got the real weapon.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
I guess back then you could do that. I remember walking into our mall as a teenager, and there was a knife store, and I'm like, I'll take that knife. And the guy was like, here you go, kid. I carried a knife around them.
Cut your eye out.
Yeah, not like a pocket knife, like a dagger. Just carrying a dagger around the wall. Can't do that now. Yeah, I told my wife, is like, I'm all for going to the hiking as long as I get my pancakes from Gatlinburg after. She goes, well, we could get it that morning before we go. I'm like, no. Pooping all over the place. The pancakes going up the mountain. Crazy?
Well, I mean, the mountain, it's your own bathroom.
It's
the biggest bathroom in the world.
That's true. So I hope I haven't got to train for this or whatever. It's been a pandemic, so we've been in our house most of the time. But so hopefully I don't just pass out on the side of the mountain.
I know. Do you heavy breathe when you get out of bed in the morning?
Yeah.
You should be fine.
Gonna have trouble.
Every morning I wake up, I'm just like, oh, I'm so old. We did go to Disney for 2 weeks, and I walked around in the humidity and heat with a mask on all day long. So,
which now you don't have to do.
That's true.
But that's the excitement of Disney keeping you alive. You won't have that on the mountain. You just have mosquitoes.
You don't have the adrenaline of I'm gonna make it up to that cabin. Yeah.
I'm going to Galaxy's Edge. Oh.
I'm going to a cabin.
Yeah. I'm going to a haunted little girl's house.
Woohoo! And I have there's a lot of stuff that I can't eat. And I said, what food's going to be up there? She's like, I don't know.
Squirrel.
I'm like,
pine cones.
Like they bring the food and all the supplies up on llamas.
This is getting better and better.
Yeah, there's no road to drive up to this place.
Oh my gosh.
They bring everything up on llamas. This is what the show should have been about.
This is going to be an interesting show.
Well, no, don't give it all away now.
Yeah.
You'll have stories to tell next time.
And there's multiple trails to go up. And so I looked at all the trails. I'm like, okay, this is the trail we need to go up because A, it's the safest. B, it's the most used. So it has an actual trail. And then my wife and her family are like, oh, we should do two. We should go up one and go back down another one. I'm like, how do you think we're going to get back to our car if we go down another one? Oh, we could probably call somebody like a Uber or something. I'm like, no, just call it Uber.
A llama Uber.
Yeah, llama Uber.
A Luber.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to call a Luber.
But it's going
to be... Especially
it's 4 against 1.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah. It's going to be 4 against 1. We'll probably end up... We'll probably end up on 2 trails, and then I'm like, when we get down, I'll be like, well, where's the car? Oh, it's at the other. Well, how are we going to get to it? Well, I don't know.
Gotta walk. Uber.
So I'm looking forward to it, but
yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, one of the trails I watch videos on, and if it rains, it floods.
Oh.
Yes.
So I said, let's not do that one. They're like, well, that's the one we want to do. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that one.
It's still spring.
So
it rains a lot in spring.
I'm not going to drag your butt out of this river that you decided to go through.
Well, I mean, you're taller, so...
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm the tallest one. They're all short, and I'm going to be dragging them through the water.
Carrying everybody.
Hey, it was their choice. I mean...
Just let them go.
They wanted it.
The trail that I recommended we go on does not have that kind of stuff. Like rushing water to sweep away.
The no fun trail.
It's got lifts. It's got you have to hold on to a rope on certain parts. So there's that.
Yeah, everything that you said, this is why I don't do stuff like this. Everything. None of it sounds fun to me whatsoever.
Oh, it'll be fun.
You want to go with us?
No.
Wish I could go.
You can send me video.
It's Tennessee, just come. Take my spot.
It's too late now.
Just FaceTime me from up on the mountain if you have signal.
No, there won't be any signal.
Just hold it around. Oh, no signal.
My wife about that. I was like, there's probably not going to be a cell phone. She's like, you don't need your cell phone up there. And I'm like, what if something happens to our children? We won't know for 2 days. She's like, Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Children. We have children.
I'm just being silly. Yeah. Anyways, so next week, if there's a show for our listeners, it'll either be Chris and Katrin, which everybody seems to love that more, anyways, because there's a plan.
Very well organized.
Yeah, or we'll do it early. One of the two.
There you go.
But it'll be me from Tennessee, so I won't have this amazing setup. It'll probably be like a laundry room. Yeah.
Up on the mountain.
No, before we get up on the mountain.
Frozen.
It would be live from Johnson City.
Oh, okay. So are y'all driving there or flying?
No.
We'll
flying into Knoxville.
Okay. McGee Tyson Airport, which is in Alcoa, not Knoxville.
Ooh. I don't know. When you type it in, it says Knoxville.
In your face.
I know it does. It's the funniest thing. It's I mean, maybe it's technically Knoxville land or whatever, but it's McGee Tyson is basically Alcoa.
That's what we're flying into.
But it's fine. It's a good airport.
And driving to Johnson City.
Yeah. 2 hours.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting one of those Tesla cars.
What could go wrong?
Not really.
Enjoy yourself while you're in the midst of, actual like civilization before you go to the middle of nowhere where a ghost child will haunt your dreams.
It's not the middle of nowhere. It's like the top of nowhere.
Oh, the top of nowhere. Oh, that's even better.
I want to buy a wig and like a nightgown, and then one night just stand at the end of everybody's bed.
No, you just need to make a little doll. Like, bring the doll! Bring the doll!
I'm not going to carry a doll up a mountain.
Do it.
What's in your backpack there, sir? Oh, just a small child.
Worth it. It's worth it.
Oh, man.
Place it everywhere.
Okay, fine. I'll do it.
Okay, good.
No, I'll put it in my wife's backpack. What's this doll in my backpack? Nothing. Just never mind.
It's just you wrap it up. It's like, it's a gift for you later.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to you and let you carry it.
Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. I'm gone for like 2 weeks, I think. So
what? What?
I won't be on the mountain for 2 weeks, but I won't be here. So I'll be recording.
Wow.
For somewhere else. We're going up to go there and then probably help our parents with their house though.
You don't have to tell us all that.
Yeah, we don't have to. Information much?
You guys were really surprised that we gone that long. Anyway.
It's for the radio.
Yeah. It's called showbiz.
Oh, okay. What's the guy call it from the show from the Oak Island?
Bobby Dazzler?
Yeah.
That's not a Bobby Dazzler.
Well, thank you for joining us on iamGEEK episode 194. Bobby Dazzler to all of you. And someone will see you next week.
Bye.
Or maybe not. Anyways. Thank you guys for listening. We'll get with you. What in the wrong with me? I'm not even going to edit that out. Bobby Dazzler, good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Oh, gosh. How's YouTube doing?
How's YouTube doing?
I don't know. No one's really commented that tonight.
No.
Wake up.
Sorry, did we bore everybody on YouTube?
I don't know. Who knows?
Vance, did we bore you tonight? Was there not enough Saved by the Bell? Vance, have you got your lightsaber yet? That's a good question. If you're still on there.
That's a good question.
Oh, we're still on.
We're still on there.
No, if he's still. We have to wait.
Gosh.
Let's see.
Yeah. What's wrong?
One of the winners got their lightsaber. One of them just got a T-shirt.
Oh no!
So he don't know where the lightsaber is.
Oh no!
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you know.
Anyways, thank you guys. Vance is gone. We'll talk to you next week.
And hold on just a second. I gotta do my thing. Bye.